June each year marks the month when Ireland's PR industry comes together to compare notes and honour those who've delivered beyond the ordinary. Now a firm date in the corporate calendar, this year's event proved there is life after the Great Recession. With Gavin Duffy as MC and Taoiseach Enda Kenny presiding over events, the Public Relations Consultants Chairman Nigel Heenan framed the significance of the event for the sector.
It's an opportunity for the public relations sector to showcase the best and the good that public relations does. The event is it's across the spectrum. It's for public relations consultancies, it's for large companies, the in-house public relations departments of large companies, and for organisations themselves that enter directly. I think it is a great opportunity for public relations to demonstrate the value of and role of public relations in society and the good work that we do in communications.
A timely boost to the capital and a trophy event for Dublin was the Flight Fest 2013, which was organised by Ireland's Aviation Authority to mark the gathering, and it took the honours for Best Event 2013.
So we took it upon ourselves to do something a little different, and why not have a flight pass in the city centre, probably one of the biggest flight passes that's ever taken place in Europe, through the city centre, 35 aircraft over 3 hours, flying at a very low level. It was actually 150,000 people in the end were in the event area, so it was great. And for us the important thing was trying to capture children's imagination in aviation, because Ireland has a great history in the air transport industry, so it was a really good thing for us to get involved in, and great support from Car Communications, and we're very happy with today, that's for sure.
Galvanising support also became critical to ESB's agenda when the Great Storm of 2013 struck, and proven crisis management is as much about preparation as perspiration. ESB took the prize in the corporate communications sector for keeping their info current.
We're delighted, absolutely thrilled to win this award, and I think it means a huge amount to the team, and the team of people that were involved in this are an awful lot of people across the country, because we had to respond, as Bevan said, very, very quickly to a huge storm, the biggest storm that we've had in the last 15 years. We had to mobilise resources, and we had to get a lot of information out locally through local radio stations, through the press, through our website, through a blog we had as well that we set up straight away to get communication out through our press releases. We were tweeting, so we had all these huge monthly channels, and a lot of people out there giving interviews to local radios and updating customers on what was happening.
Proving there is no substitute for strategy but strategy, it was the third rebranding in as many years that took the gong of the under €20,000 PR consumer campaign category. So when Lloyd's Pharmacy became the brand from Doc Morris and Unicare, it was maybe more a rebirth than a rebrand. And Pembroke Communications did the business.
So we've won Best Consumer Campaign under €20,000, and I think they picked us because we stuck with a very clear strategy. It was a real challenge for the client, and I think our strategy really paid through, and that came through in our submission. The campaign was for Lloyd's Pharmacy, and they were undergoing their third rebrand in 3 years. So they had started off as Unicare Pharmacy, they had gone to Doc Morris Pharmacy, and they were now becoming Lloyd's Pharmacy. So it was a real challenge for the consumer, and it was a challenge for their staff. So there was a lot of different things to consider in terms of, I suppose, staff understanding why this was happening, the public understanding why this was happening, and their own stakeholders understanding why it's happening. So there was a lot of challenges for us. So we came on board quite late in the day, and I think we nailed it. So we were really pleased, yeah.
As well as championing success in public relations, the event also helps to benchmark the performance of the industry. And by refocusing resources and right-sizing in the downturn, the industry may be set for a more sustainable expansion.
We are in a post-recessionary environment, so things may not be as bad now as they were maybe 2-3 years ago, but the industry has had to adapt, and one way it has adapted is its cost base. And the Public Relations Consultants Association carries out research every 2 years, and that research recently published, the most recent iteration of it was published, demonstrates that companies back in 2009, 2011 did have to cut back on staff. There were staff reductions, so the cost base was reduced. But most recent research shows that last year in 2013, 30% of companies increased their employee numbers. So they've had to recalibrate, had to look at how we do things and how we deliver services.
While innovation is a perennial characteristic of the PR Awards, it's tangible results that drives the sector. And when it leads to ringing tills, empty shelves and increased revenue, well, all the better. So this year's award for Best Social Media / Digital Campaign went to Wilson Hartnell and Adidas.
The award we won today was for the best use of digital and social media, and it was a campaign for our client Adidas. We worked with Munster Rugby. It was all in for Munster with the campaign. I think the key piece that the judges recognised was the use of innovation, and in terms of the objectives as well, I think what was really important was the actual commercial value that the campaign did, so how kind of social and digital intertwined with everything. I think the end result then was really important in terms of there was a commercial value basically selling jerseys, and I think that kind of stood out with the innovation.
Giving a timely twist to a traditional theme saw the annual Listún Varna Matchmaking Festival make waves, and by opening its doors to the LGBT community, it saw its campaign take off, and interest stoked far beyond these shores.
I think the campaign stood out really well for the judges. I'm hoping that they saw the passion, what was behind it, because not only my company, I'm a single entity with my interns or 2 appointed consultants coming in to help out. And what we did was literally endless nights and drawing on friends and family going, let's make this project work. The idea, the spark, everything was there, and we just ran with it. From literally setting up the Facebook page to the following day on News Talk and then going worldwide within 7 days.
Setting the Pulse Racing also was competition for the Best Public Information category, and here the arrival of World Hypertension Day to Ireland saw an overwhelming welcome, and measuring the success of the campaign was done via measuring the pulse of the public.
We measured it really through in terms of who actually, the figures in terms of who went and got their blood pressure checked at the road shows across the country. So the numbers were increasingly high, and also the click-through rates on the likes of Facebook and Twitter, and also the resource that we set up on the Irish Heart Foundation website. I think it was one of the hotly contested categories in terms of the public information campaign. So, you know, there was a factor of being surprised, but we were just delighted. We worked really hard, and it was a campaign we really believed in, and we achieved all our objectives. So absolutely delighted with the win, it's fantastic.
A frequent occupier of the winner's enclosure this year was Fleischmann Hilliard, winning Best Healthcare Award with its client for the Aviva Healthcare Fitness Challenge, whose mission was to get the national pulse racing throughout Ireland's secondary schools, which proved a bleeping success for all.
And really the campaign was about improving their fitness over a 6-week period. So they did a bleep test at the beginning of the campaign and then a bleep test at the end to measure the improvement in results. So I think between secondary school teachers in Ireland, parents and kids themselves, they really got behind it, and they wanted to kind of prove how they could make an intervention in their own fitness and improve themselves for their own health benefits. So I think in terms of standing out, it was very important for those kids to prove that they could do it, to prove that exercise does have its own benefits.
While the winners and the roll call change each year, quality is the enduring feature of this competition, and recession or not, or maybe because of it, the Irish PR industry continues to earn its stripes and punch above its weight.
A lot of the awards given out today by the Taoiseach were for projects and initiatives that did have a genuinely high profile in the media or national profile, and the reason they had that is because they were very well executed projects and professionally done. I would be very optimistic, just if you were to use this event, if you like, as a touchstone. You know, I would be saying I'd be very optimistic for the future of public relations in Ireland. The sector has evolved very well. It's adapted to sort of modern media, digital media, social media very well. It's regarded. I think I do attend international public relations conferences and events, and knowing what I do know about what we have to offer in Ireland in terms of public relations, I would say that we're right up there with the best in the world in terms of how we communicate and the professional manner in which we do it.
Whatever about the level of optimism, it's the level of self-confidence that has driven the PR industry through turbulent times. And both the depth of experience and the quality of entries in this year's lineup proves that this self-confidence is well placed. This is Barry Keane for Ireland on Business at the PR Excellence Awards 2014 here in Dublin.